Happy Saturday. It's Saturday, October 10th, week 41 of 2020. We've had a great week. I hope you have too. Week started off on Sunday, which was October 4th, 10-4. A day like 10-4, everything's gonna be okay. Like 10-4, good buddy. Out at the lake on Sunday, had a guy show up in a kayak right out in front of me and was talking with me, and I found out actually that the lake does rentals of boats and things, so we might check that out sometime. Monday, the 9th, was talking with Bryan that morning and just looked at him and said, you know, in just 9 days, you're going to be 16 years old. He acted almost surprised that it was that close, although I'm certain he's counting down the days because he wants to get his driver's license as quick as he can. Monday night, Jill and I went out with some friends and sang some karaoke. Really enjoyed doing the song Love Shack together. That's one we've been doing for a long time. And we tried a new one, which is an old country western song by Loretta Lynn and Conway Twitty. The song was called You're the Reason Our Kids Are Ugly. It sounds bad, but it's actually a very funny song. Really just poke fun at each other. If you like funny country western songs, look it up. I got to thinking on Tuesday about the fact that VR has not taken off. Virtual reality, like the headset type things that people wear, it really hasn't taken off that much, or as much as I was expecting it to by now. In fact, when I first got into using 360 cameras, I was thinking that maybe it might be a good opportunity to create some VR content. I really haven't gotten into that. Instead, I've been using the 360 camera for the ability that I can record in all directions at the same time, and then I can pick my angle later. Wednesday, Bryan got some new running shoes that he had been wanting. He tried those out, realized that they're a lot different than the other ones that he had, and he likes them a lot, but he's not sure whether or not they're going to be good ones for him to race in. Wednesday was also the day I shot a fall colors video, and I posted that here on this YouTube channel. And that turned out pretty good. I liked it a lot. It's fun getting out there and recording and just seeing what the camera happens to catch, and then playing around with music and adding it all together and seeing what happens. Also on Wednesday, I started following a new YouTube channel by a guy by the name of Danny Fyffe. Danny is out in Colorado doing a bunch of video with the same sort of cameras that I use, getting all the colors out there in the Colorado area. So I'm talking with him on the comments on his YouTube channel, and I told him that my parents had just moved from the Dallas-Fort Worth area up to Colorado, not too far from where he's at. And he said he lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for about 25 years or so. So it's a small world. I'm really enjoying Danny's content. He puts out a bunch of stuff that's kind of the things that I want to do around my area if I get the chance to have some more time to do it. He goes out and records neat things around his area. One of the ones he did was an old farmstead that was out there that had been preserved. He goes around and does a lot of that type of thing, so I'm looking forward to watching more of his videos. Before I get too far, I want to talk about the word of the week. Didn't have a teenage word of the week from Bryan. He's kind of run dry on those lately. He doesn't have any to give me at the moment, but as soon as he does, we'll bring it back. For today's word of the week, I was watching a video and a guy referred to a $100 bill as a C note. I'd heard this before, but I wasn't sure what a C note was, so I looked it up and found out that the C is actually a Roman numeral for 100. Makes good sense. But it also made me wonder too about other things, like why do people sometimes have these different slangs for their money, their currency in their area. I wonder what the different slangs are for the currency in England or Scotland or anywhere, China, what kind of slang terms they have instead of just saying, like, we don't always just say dollar. Well, just this week, there was a friend of mine, I told him I had to pay an extra $25 for a title for the camper because I was a day late. Yes, $25 for a day late. He said, I'm sorry to hear that you lost 25 bones. And I went, bones. Now, how did bones become a term that we would use for dollar? Then again, how can we call them bucks sometimes? I paid $100 for this, whatever. So I haven't looked that one up yet, but maybe I will sometime soon. It's just curious to me how words come about. On the C note thing, I did a little research on that one and found that it actually somehow came out of the 20s and 30s gangster era type of terminology. I didn't get much further than that to find out how it ended up in gangster terminology, but C note, Roman numeral C, 100. C note, $100. Thursday morning, we had some more clouds in the morning during the sunrise, so I got out and did a little bit more video of that. I'm trying to get out there at sunrise and sunset as much as possible and do some sort of video because the lighting that time of day is just so beautiful. I think a couple weeks ago, the last week, or week before, I had said that days are getting cooler and they were probably done with warm days. I was completely wrong. We're going through now what I guess used to be called Indian summer. It's when it gets a little bit warmer in the middle of the fall. This weekend would have been perfect for us to go camping, but this weekend's been pretty busy for us. This morning, just before sitting down here to talk with you, Jill and I were down in Branson. We went to Bryan's cross-country race where he got another personal record. Let's see, the last time his personal record was 21:30 something, and this time he got a 20:59. He wanted to beat 21 minutes and he beat it by 1 second. On Thursday also, I noticed that my printer was telling me that I needed to slow down and relax a little bit. It had a message on it that said, please wait a while. Not a very long period of time, just a while. I guess I need to be more patient. Even my printer's telling me that. Thursday also, I kind of alluded to this, but I went into the DMV, finally got the title for the camper done. I survived the DMV. It was a longer line for the driver's license side than for the motor vehicle side. I was very thankful for that since I didn't have to do the driver's license thing this time around. I guess we'll be doing that sometime soon with Bryan since he's turning 16 this next Wednesday. On Friday, I was talking with somebody about problems with spelling. Have I talked about this before? I've always had a challenge spelling words. I mentioned to this person that my brother-in-law had once told me a story that made me very jealous of the Finnish language. In Finland, I hope I'm getting that country right. Yeah, I think it's Finland. They have an alphabet where every letter of the alphabet has only one sound to it. So that if you hear the word, you automatically know how to spell it because the phonetics of their alphabet make it so easy. If you can pronounce the word correctly, you can spell it. That makes me very jealous because the English language is so challenging, and I'm sure there's other languages that are challenging as well. My mother tongue, English, is very difficult to spell sometimes because so many of our letters make different sounds depending on how they're used in what word. Yesterday I was talking with my friend Cody and we were talking again about, I mentioned this before, the high octane playlist that we put together. It's EDM music mostly, very hard style I think is what they call it. But I enjoy it because it really keeps me moving and awake when I'm doing my work. But he found one to add to that playlist that takes a lot of, is it a cover? I don't think you could call it a cover. It takes a lot of the stuff from the Beatles song Come Together, which is my all-time favorite Beatles song. The purists in the area of Beatles music probably would hate the song, but I love it because it's a mixture of both that high energy EDM and music that I love. I was reading yesterday that we're supposed to be having a meteor shower going on right now. I guess it peaked a couple of days ago, but it's also supposed to be still pretty good through tonight. I'm hoping to be able to get out there and put the camera up and do like a star lapse type of thing. If I remember to do that, we're also going out to celebrate a friend's birthday tonight. So hopefully when I get home, I'll remember to go set the camera out to do time lapse while we sleep. That would be really neat to get a star lapse. I've heard that this camera can do this really well. Haven't tried it yet, so we'll see how it goes. Also on Friday, we learned that Zach is going again down to Louisiana to do storm recovery work with the tree company that he works with. This time the trip they're saying is going to be about twice as long. We're really proud of him that he's able to get this work done, but we're going to be really sad to miss him because we won't see him again until he comes back for Thanksgiving. And that brings us up to today, Saturday. Like I said, we went to Bryan's race. Tomorrow, Ben has a baseball game. Hopefully the weather will be just as nice for his baseball game as it was for Bryan's race today. We are really looking forward to watch him play because he has so much fun. That's the end of week 41 of 2020. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.